Welcome, everybody, to episode 6 of The Rebellion. I'm your host, Tyson Smith, and today we have a massive treat for you guys. Today we have Cameron Howard. Now, I was actually introduced to Cam by last week's host, Dre. Now, Cam, will you please introduce yourself to the audience and tell everybody a little bit about what it is you do?
Most definitely. So, obviously, my name's Cam. I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur. I'm based out in Miami, and I've been inside the whole e-commerce and marketing game now for a little over 3 years, and I can kind of go back and tell a little bit more about my story, how I got started. So basically, when I was 16 at the time, about to turn 17, I was looking at other people online, living super crazy, living the life of their dreams. And, at this time, I was junior in high school, coming into senior year. I was working at Starbucks actually. So, I've been hustling for money for a while. When I was 15, I was busting tables, always had that part-time job. Even before that, I was going out, cutting people's lawns, shoveling snow, any way that I can get some bread, right? So basically, I moved to Maryland at 15 years old from my mom's. A lot of stuff kind of happened. And, from that, I've been able to develop the skill of, whatever I'm trying to do in life, I need to do it for myself. I can't rely on, a lot of people for, my well-being in terms of financially, stuff like that, And from that and seeing a lot of people do it online, I actually got a mentor to run Instagram theme pages. So this was coming into senior year, working at Starbucks, right? And, I invested $1,000 into this mentor and this Instagram theme page, right?
Could you explain real quick what an Instagram theme page is?
Most definitely. So an Instagram theme page, it can be any niche, right? For me, I chose business. I was making a bunch of content. I was making posts every single day. And what I was doing was I was making business content. So the people that followed me, they were interested in business. So I was able to sell promotions, shout out to people that had a personal brand on my page, because on my page, people were interested in business. They wanted to get started. So people that had a personal brand, a service, or a product they wanted to sell, they'd pay me. Okay, look, Cam, can you, promote this on your story for $150? And at this time, I was making, $300-$400 every 2 weeks at Starbucks. I was working my ass off. But whenever I was coming in, selling shout outs for $150, I'm like, so online money's no joke. And, it might not be a lot of money, but for me at the time, one post was 1 week of work. And at that point, I realized the opportunity that online money kind of gave.
Absolutely. And I think that that's such an important thing, is that some people, when they start thinking about starting an online business, is they're too worried about, hitting these crazy goals. I'm going to make $100,000 a month. Where I think that if you start with something like how you put it, if you can go make $150, how many hours of work did you just save yourself from having to do at whatever job you're working? And starting with something like that, where instead of, hey, I'm going to go make $100,000 a month online, learning how am I going to replace 1 week of work a month online, and then building up from there.
Exactly. And I completely agree with that point, because at the end of the day, you always got to start somewhere. And I think the biggest thing is knowing that it's possible, right? And always learning. After I started Instagram theme pages, right, I was promoting these people that were in e-commerce, right? They were teaching people how to get started in e-commerce, specifically, using the drop shipping model. And at that point, I was like, wow, these guys are teaching a very high valuable skill. I want to get into e-commerce. And at that time, like I said, it was senior year, and I got started with just drop shipping. And at this point, right, I was still running my Instagram theme page, but I was like, okay, if I can make money this way online, why not learn more? So, I was learning e-commerce. In 3 months, I had my first 6-figure store after I got a mentor. And I think mentors are a really important thing. A lot of people don't understand that having that type of guidance will completely cut your learning curve, and it'll make you just succeed a lot faster. If you're trying to start this on your own, you're trying to, just, like I said, start on your own, be alone. It doesn't really make sense, because you're going to have to invest a lot of your time and money to learn from your mistakes. So ultimately, life is a pay-to-play game, in my opinion. You either pay the price of time or you pay the price of money, which you can never get time back, but you can always get your money back.
Absolutely. And I talk about that all the time, especially within wholesaling or any kind of niche of making money online, whether it's wholesaling, e-com, whatever it is there are people out there who will show you how to do what to do. It's going to cost you money, but you're either going to pay with time or your money. Now, is it possible through 100% for free, learn exactly how to wholesale on the internet? Absolutely it is. But the time it's going to take you to actually get it going, get it started, and create a process all by yourself can drastically be cut down if instead you just go to somebody who's already successful, that's in your space, and learn from them.
Most definitely. And, a lot of people don't even know this, but I've invested over $100,000 into myself. At this time when I was 17, I was making 6 figures online. I wasn't able to really tell anyone about this. So, to pay these people and stuff, it was pretty crazy. I was basically taking all the money I was making, investing it back in the mentors, because at the end of the day, I knew that if I could just acquire a bunch of different skills from different people, I could combine that knowledge and just run with it, right? If I learned, for example, when I was doing drop shipping, I was learning how to do amazing branding from someone. I paid him, $10K, teach me how to brand the products correctly, teach me how to make the best website, right? And from that, also when I paid, for the Instagram theme page mentorship at that time, that also taught me to build a brand on Instagram for my e-commerce stores. So I incorporated that, and I was actually doing this ambassador method where I'd hit up other theme pages. For example, if you're selling a beauty product online, you can hit up these, Sephora, all these different brands and their Instagram. If you go on Instagram and you refresh the followers, you'll see people following those accounts in real time. So, you can DM them, whatever, from your brand page, from your e-commerce brand page, and you can make money off that. You can have them be ambassadors. You can be like, look, you can buy my product, I'll give you a discount, right? And those are free sales. You're not putting any money into ads. And that's why, when I learned this was such a good way to make money being young, risk-free.
Absolutely.
You're not spending any money in ads.
So here's the thing I love about theme pages is all you have to do to get started with a theme page is have internet access and have something you're interested in.
Exactly.
You don't need to get on camera whatsoever. You don't need to it can be completely anonymous. So tell me, Cam, if somebody wanted to start a theme page today, let's say that I want to start a theme page focused around beauty, how would I go about it?
Facts. So, I've actually kind of stepped out on the whole theme page, side. I've been really doing e-commerce a lot, but I'd say it's even more valuable to make a brand around your product for, drop shipping, right? Because doing that, it's kind of almost the same thing as a theme page, right? Except you're selling your own product
rather than somebody else's.
Rather than someone else's. And that's more, for me, that's more high value. I'm building up an asset. I'm building up a real brand, right? But to go back to your question on how to maybe build something like that, whether you're building an Instagram theme page, whether you're building, an Instagram page for your products, the biggest thing, you need the credibility, you need the followers, you need high quality content. So, you can make content in Canva for your theme pages and look at competitors, see what they're doing, see how you can mimic that content. Because I think of Instagram as a landing page, for whatever you're selling, whether it's an e-commerce product, it's Instagram being a landing page is super important because you can get a lot of organic sales that way. Unless, let's say you didn't have that or you didn't have a TikTok page. One thing I've been utilizing right now, for the past 2 years is TikTok. And, from that, I've been able to scale a brand over $1 million in sales without putting any money in the ads. Right now, we're about 1.3 mil in sales. We didn't spend any money in ads at all. We've been running this brand for over a year and a half. So being able to utilize organic traffic is a very good risk-free way for beginners to get started, building a business without having to spend thousands of dollars into ads or, learn about that. Because, running ads, to be honest, it can be pretty confusing. You could lose a lot of money. And the reason why I always say start organically is because you have no excuses. You can't say you don't have any more money, right? At that point, you're just kind of trading your time for money until you can outsource that to other creators. And that's how you can really scale up to 7 figures.
So I just want to repeat that for everybody. Cam was able to build an e-com brand to 7 figures, and he did it all without spending any money on ads.
Exactly.
Can you tell a little bit about how you can create a TikTok page that will allow you to scale an e-com business to 7 figures with 0 ad spend?
Most definitely. So if you're a complete beginner, you're just starting off, you shouldn't go and outsource anything. You're going to have to do it yourself. So the first thing you want to do is obviously learn how to make viral content, learn how to catch people's attention, with the product. So you need to prepare for it. A lot of people say, they're trying to build up a TikTok page for products. They're just trying to make random videos, but you need a strategy behind it. So the first thing is you need to learn how to catch attention. You need to study competition. You need to study people that are selling products online on TikTok, Instagram, and look at their viral videos, see how to catch attention. And then once you kind of find a good product and you want to build up the TikTok page, you want to make the content yourself, you want to have the product in hand, you can use your iPhone, super easy, you have all the skills. With doing that, you want to post consistently. A lot of people don't succeed at first is because they're not consistent. And a lot of people want fast results. A lot of people think it's easy, but it's not. But if you can learn how to make videos go viral, you can essentially sell anything online. So once you get, those viral videos, you start getting sales for your brand, you can then reinvest that to get more TikTok pages, start outsourcing all your videos to professional content creators that can make, videos every single day for pretty cheap. And that's how you can really scale. You need to leverage other people if you want to really scale your business, especially organically, right? I see a lot of people, whether they're trying to start drop shipping and whether they're trying to do it organically, they only have one TikTok brand page. But let's say you have 10 pages, each page is posting 3 videos a day, right? If you have that, you're at just such more an advantage, and you just kind of rinse and repeat the same exact thing you're doing on one page to more.
There was so much game there, all put in that last little bit that Cam just said. One thing I really want to touch on is you talked about learning how to go viral. And that's something that I've kind of become a little bit obsessed with is what is it that catches people's attention, and focusing on the psychology aspect of it. So always in my head now, I'm thinking of different little hooks that can get somebody's attention so that they will stay and watch that video. For instance, when we're having a conversation, I hear Cam say something that I know will catch people's attention. He says he created a 7-figure e-com store with $0 of ad spend. So if you guys noticed, I was conscious to repeat that because I know that if I ask him that question, one, the question alone is going to attract a lot of people to keep watching this video. And two, I know that Cam's an expert and that he can go on and describe that process. But learning how to catch people's attention and create viral products can serve you so many different ways in life, and there's so many different ways to make money off of being able to capture people's attention like that.
Most definitely. And I think the biggest thing is if you know how to capture someone's attention, it doesn't matter what product you're selling. It doesn't matter if you're selling a beauty product, a gym product. If you can learn how to go viral and you can learn how to keep people's attention on a video, it will go viral. It's just algorithms. So you need to master social media algorithms. You need to know how to get that same content on a mass scale. So you're not just posting on TikTok. You're on Instagram Reels, you're on YouTube Shorts. You're trying to maximize the content that you have. And once you can do that, then scale, then outsource, then get creators. You want to build a proven process. And then once you have that, that's consistently successful, right? And the biggest thing is being consistently successful, right? Organically, it's a little bit hard to stay consistent with that. It's not like you're putting money in ads. You have to hope to go viral, basically not every day, but you need to learn how to get consistent lead flow, consistent customers every single day. So the biggest thing is to learn how to do it yourself, learn how to go viral, and then take that, build a team, be patient, and your results will come.
Guys, one of the concepts that I believe Cam is touching on here is the importance of attention being currency. You need to look at all of the biggest companies in the world right now. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, the news companies, Hollywood. All of these different companies are all fighting to buy your attention. It is such a big market right now. Everybody is looking for it. So if you can figure out how to tap into that and get a piece of the attention from people, there's so many different ways you can go with it to go ahead and make money. Now, one thing you keep touching on is consistency. When it comes to succeeding on social media, how important would you say is being consistent about posting?
Most definitely. A lot of people, when they're first starting off, they try to be perfect. They try to be a perfectionist. And the thing is people try to look for results before they look for consistency. And the thing is, people are like, why am I not making money? Why am I not going viral? Why am I not successful? Why I don't have a ton of money? It's because you're not consistent. You're not consistent in your personal life. You're not consistent in your business. And the biggest thing is to build a lifestyle that allows you to be consistent with making money online, building your business. A lot of people want to maybe try to start a business and they think it's a side hustle or something. You got to put everything into it if you want to make it succeed. And being consistent is basically the first step. You're trying to beat out people like me, like you, right? All these beginners, they're competition, right? Not for us, but if they're just starting off, right? We already know these systems, right? So you have to always think of everything as a competition, a healthy competition, right? Seeing other people that they're actually doing it and knowing that you can do the same. The first thing is really being consistent, like I said. And, the people that don't succeed are the people that don't show up every single day. They might treat it as a joke. They might not take it seriously. But if you're actually trying to live a life full of freedom, you're trying to actually make money yourself, not have a boss, not have to go to college, you need to put your all in it. We didn't get here from putting half of it in here, half out, right? We understood opportunity. And I think the biggest thing is people don't understand opportunity when they see it. They think it's risky, right? What's more risky is not trying, because at the end of the day, you're going to have a 0% chance of succeeding. You won't be able to be your own boss if you don't at least try and stay consistent.
100%. And so many people do see these things and they hear about, oh, this person is making all this money in e-com or they're making all this money in wholesaling, but how do I know that it's not a scam, or how do I know that it's not going to work for me? Here's what I can tell you right now. If you never try, your chances of succeeding are always 0. But once you start to take a bet on yourself and get consistent, that's when your chances of succeeding dramatically go up. But if you don't ever make that first video or start that project, the answer is always going to be, nope, it's not going to work for you. One thing that I really like that you talked about is building a lifestyle around being able to be consistent. So I know for me it's kind of been like something that I had to be super conscious about when building my personal brand, is to consistently be posting. What tips do you have for building a lifestyle that revolves around building up your brand?
Most definitely. So if you're trying to build up, are you saying like a brand or like a personal
whatever
brand?
It is, either or.
Most definitely. So yeah, just incorporating a lifestyle to build your business. The biggest thing that you need to be doing is, like I said, not only can be consistent with everything, but just understanding what you're doing in your personal life day to day. Like, I'll give an example, and it's as simple as this. If your house isn't clean, your room isn't clean, you're disorganized in your personal life, you're not going to be organized in your business. So you need to start taking small steps. Are you hitting the gym? Are you being organized? Are you taking care of your body? All these small wins are going to build up confidence for when you're working on your business. You know that you'll actually be able to achieve these results. A lot of people aren't confident with themselves. They might not have a great personal life. And with that, if you're trying to work on a business, it probably wouldn't succeed either, because you have to focus on yourself first before anything. Read, do the steps that people aren't wanting to do. Do the boring work. A lot of people don't want to do the boring work, but that's what's going to take you to, maybe not knowing anything from business to being, a 6- and 7-figure entrepreneur.
That's such an important thing that you just talked about. And I completely agree with you that it all starts with being able to master yourself. So how are you supposed to be successful in running a business if you can't even control your own life? It starts with being a master of yourself, of keeping your spaces clean, of keeping your body healthy. And then from there, once you learn the discipline to stay consistent with those habits, then you can start building out and become consistent in these other business building habits. But I think that that's such an excellent point, is that you really do need to master yourself first, because if you can't even control what you are going to do, if you can't get yourself to go to the gym for an hour a day, or you can't get yourself to eat healthy, how are you going to do all the responsibilities that running a business requires?
Most definitely. And, I think the biggest thing too is a lot of people also, they just don't believe in themselves. They think that a lot of people that made money, that they got it on accident, it just happened, it just fell in their hands, and it just doesn't, it's not like that.
Right.
You and I both know we worked hard for what we have, and it doesn't matter if you start from zero. It doesn't matter if you have unfortunate things in your life. you have to deal with it and you have to overcome that, and you can't self-sabotage yourself ever. And I think the biggest thing is a lot of people are out here, trying to give themselves excuses like, oh, well, I don't have this, I was born, like, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, if you actually want to better yourself, you need to take accountability within yourself.
And I think that is something that I can so see from everything you're saying is not, it doesn't matter what hand you're dealt, of taking personal accountability for your life and what you can create and control. Another point that you touched on that I think is so important is having other people, whether it's mentors or just people's content that you're consuming, that are showing you what is possible. I know for me, when I was really in the trenches of wholesaling and I'm trying to put deals together, I'm trying to get consistent deals, there were times when I would get super down on myself and I would have these negative thoughts of, hey, maybe this won't work for me. But being able to see these other people that I could see on social media that I was following have the success and have mentors that I could reach out to, and seeing they have success, it showed me that it is possible and you just need to keep going. I think that having other people that you can look up to and see that it can work is super beneficial in the beginning to keep you going and keep you hustling.
I agree with that. And that's kind of something that I touched before, is always having a mentor, having people in your circle that you can look up to. Right now, we're in Arizona with my boys, right? I'm probably the youngest person there. But for that, I think it's an advantage because I can learn from everyone, all their mistakes. And, I think that's such a great thing to have. You need mentors, you need people to learn from, and you need to build yourself up as the biggest asset, and you need a network. I think that's one of the biggest things as well.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, you're here with a bunch of your boys, and I'm sure you guys are all very like-minded. You guys are building businesses, striving for more. How important is it to level up the people you surround yourself with when you yourself are looking to become successful?
That's an amazing question, by the way, because this is something I can relate from personal experience, right? I had to outgrow a lot of people that I had around me, before I seen success with anything. And that's not because, I'm better than them. I'm not. I'm just doing something different, and I'm on my own path. So at the end of the day, you have to kind of figure out who you want to be. And at that point, you need to surround yourself with those same like-minded people. If you're out here hanging out with people that don't have goals, they're not passionate, they're walking around with no purpose, what do you think you're going to be doing? What habits do you think you're going to be acquiring? You're going to be the same exact person, right? But if you can put yourself in those rooms with people that not only are doing something good for themselves, but they also want the best for you, right? And now pretty much uplift you and allow you to make better decisions, learn from their mistakes, and overall just be a better person.
And so how would you say that you were able to make these kinds of connections and develop these relationships with like-minded individuals who are on the same path as you?
Most definitely. And I think the biggest thing for me was I always invested in myself. I was always out here. I was paying mentors. To be honest, I really paid my way in to get these connections. But I think on top of that, you just need to be real. You need to do good business. You need to be genuine. You can't be out here doing bad business. You just need to be real. You shouldn't be looking at everyone as an opportunity or something to gain. You should be giving extreme value to people, treating them right, amazing hospitality. And when people see value in you, then they'll want to constantly be around you. You shouldn't be selling someone to be around you, right? You need to just let it happen naturally. I think the first thing is, for one, having great communication skills. I think that's a really important thing, because if you can talk to someone well, they're going to respect you, right? It just makes you more knowledgeable with a lot of things. And at the end of the day, like with getting these connections, the only way that you can truly do it is just by being a person of value. So the more you know, it's just going to help you out a lot more.
Absolutely. And I can totally see that. So me and Cam met really recently and we instantly hit it off because we just start talking and it was instantly like, dude, we're talking about business. We're bouncing ideas off each other. He's giving me amazing value. I'm talking with him about things I'm doing. And we have allowed ourselves to be in situations and to have conversations like that because exactly like you said, we've been in the trenches before. We've built businesses. We have paid to hang out with people who can show us how to do these things. And because of that, leveling up your circle becomes so much easier.
Exactly. It's not easy. People think this shit's easy. It's not. Because at the end of the day, like if you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. And a lot of people are too scared to start. A lot of people think that they're not going to make it, but you just have to be confident in yourself.
100%, man. And believing in yourself, and I think accepting. So many people have these negative self-talk, right? Where they think that, why do I deserve that?
Exactly.
Or I'm not good enough. When you need to be able to look yourself in the mirror and realize that you are just, you are a human just like everybody else, and you have just as much of a claim to success as the next person does. And it is what it takes. And some people start at different places than others, but you got to reach up and you got to start doing these things that, like you said, might be boring.
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing with that is also taking accountability where you're at in life. Whenever I was, wanting more in life, whenever I moved, I used to live with my mom back in, Missouri. A lot of things happened. We don't talk at all anymore. From that, I lost, a lot of money, everything. I had to come, to Maryland. Thankfully, my dad, my family, were able to, take care of me during that time. And, from that point, it's like, it doesn't really matter what you start off with. What matters is, first taking accountability for yourself. And then from that, just figuring out a game plan, right? Just knowing that this life isn't going to come from your parents. It's not going to come from, your friends. It's going to come from you. And once you kind of first take that accountability step, then you'll be really well off.
Dude, I love that so much, because I feel like in this day and age, so many people want to be a victim. They want to talk about how unfairly they're treated and how, the system is against them.
Right.
Where you're saying, dude, it's time to buck up, take accountability, and do what you can do. And I think so many people need to hear that.
Right. Life isn't fair. A lot of people try to say that, everything should be fair, everything should be like that. It's not, and you have to accept that. A lot of people will live in a false reality where they think that everything needs to be equal, everything needs to be this and that. People didn't become successful by things being equal, right? They had different traits in them. They had to make different sacrifices. And, I think starting from nothing, from me, like, having a lot of things happen in my past, led me to be this person today where, now, 20, I've been able to, and it's not to flex or anything, but it's just, inspire you and tell you that it doesn't matter what position you're in. It's possible. It's possible for me. I was broke. I was working at Starbucks making, $300-$400 a week. And if I said that was the only thing that I'm really good for, not taking any risk, I wouldn't be in this position that I am today.
Absolutely. And it all starts with that, is making that bet on yourself of, hey, how can I learn how to do this? And then you started finding success, right? And then it sounded like you were like, how can I reinvest this into learning more skills that are going to make me more money? And I mean, I had the exact same thing going on. When I first got into wholesaling, when I made a check, I was like, I need to reinvest this to things that are going to make me more money. So that was, how can I reinvest this into marketing? How can I reinvest this into finding a mentor and paying them to show me what it is they're doing?
Exactly. And I always say this, you need to invest in yourself. And like I mentioned before, with, the game of life, it really is a pay-to-play game. And a lot of people don't want to invest in themselves. They want to get to the next level, but they're scared to put money in themselves. So that's why I say, before anything, you need to be confident in yourself. You need to know that, okay, if you're putting money here, that it's going to pay off. But if you're not confident, then you're going to think that it's you spending money, not you investing money in yourself.
Right. So, Cam, tell me, what piece of advice would you give to an 18-year-old kid who's working at Starbucks right now and believes that there is more for life, there's more in life for them? What advice would you give them to help take them to the next level?
So the first thing that you need to do is you need to develop a high income skill that can pay you without having your own boss. And once you realize that that's possible, then that's the hardest part. A lot of people don't think it's possible, right? For me, I always knew that it was possible because I always believed in myself. I always knew that I could always bet on myself. So it's like I said first, you need to start developing yourself personally before you take that next step. Start getting better habits, stop doing, partying, drinking, smoking, whatever you're doing. Create a life that you want to live, and create this life with good habits where these good things are enjoyable for you, because life has so much to offer. But a lot of people are too distracted by fitting in. A lot of people try to, just follow the crowd, and that's not what's going to get you to the next level where you want to be at. It's a solo journey when you start off, right? And then at that point, you want to start connecting with like-minded people. But the first thing is really just believing in yourself. So if you're, 18, 19, 20, doesn't really matter what age you are. If you're listening to this, you just need to understand that it is possible, but you need to take accountability and you need to focus on everything step by step. You need to build the right habits. You need to look at people that are successful, take those habits and just implement it. It's not hard, but a lot of people just don't do it.
That's amazing. Now, Cam, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and learn more, what would be the best way for them to find you?
Most definitely. You can check me out on Instagram at Cameron Howard without the A on Howard. I have a YouTube channel, Cam Howard, and then also have a TikTok, which is Cam Howard as well. You can follow me on this. I just make content about entrepreneurship, motivation. If you guys are looking to ever, get started with, an online business, you can always reach out. But even if you're just trying to get, the free sauce, right? That's perfect.
Absolutely. And that's one of the most amazing things about Cam. I talked to him and I was like, hey man, do you have any products or anything you'd like to talk about? And he said, nah, what I really want to do is talk about what kind of sauce can we help younger people learn so that they can get to the position that I'm in. That's the kind of guy that Cam Howard is.
I appreciate you, bro. And I appreciate you having me on here. I think, you having this platform is something amazing because you're going to be able to inspire other people, bringing me on, which I greatly appreciate. They're going to be, inspired, your audience. You have all these amazing people on. I think what you're doing is amazing.
Well, that really is the goal here at The Rebellion. We want to be able to bring people on who can show you how much is possible out there. That this life that's been sold to you about going to school, getting some degree, working some job you hate, marrying some woman that you don't love, and then retiring at 65 so you can play golf for 5 years and die is not the way to live. That there's more out there. And every single week, we are going to be bringing on people like Cam who can show you what else is possible. Cam, how old did you say you are?
I'm 20 years old.
20 years old, and he is already creating his life and playing life on his terms. If you are ready or you know somebody who is ready to step outside of the matrix and start doing things their own way, go ahead and like this episode, subscribe to it if you haven't already, and share it with that friend. Guys, thank you so much for listening. It has been Cam Howard. Cam, will you please say your Instagram one more time so that everybody can go ahead and check you out?
Most definitely. It's Cameron Howard. No A in the Howard, though.
Cameron Howard, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time.